For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiskiTV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niazi bafowethu, Amakosi for life, they are back in winning ways. Please, siyacela ukuthi subscribe iDiskiTV.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting, iDiskiTimes.co.za. Afike la kwafara iqela lazifumanela inqaku abazawugoduka nalo. Inqaku ke libiza into abayi away goal. Pyramids 1 away from home, Mamelodi Sundowns 1 at home. Kind of fascinating because of course it was 1-1, but generally speaking it was a poor game really. It's like Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. They're poor in the league or not doing well, but one of them is going to win in the final. So, okay, whatever. One of you is going to win in the final, and I'm sure your fans, in the ignorance that we engage in football, we are going to, what do they call it? We're going to bestow a title upon a coach to say he's a genius, just because there were two coaches who are good for nothing, really, sometimes killing the game, playing negative football. But between one of them, because they're in the final, then we have to lie and say one of them is a genius. Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham Hotspur as well. They say he's a genius. He's been a shit coach the whole season. A season lasts for 10 months, and every single week we've been watching them, it's been shit. He wins the Europa League. The stupidity of football is that now we must bestow a title upon him to say he's genius. Same with Nasruddin Nabi. 10 months, 12 losses, only 8 wins for a big team. But because he wins a trophy, we must give him a title of being a genius. So I kind of suspect that this is what's going to happen with these two teams as well. Maybe Pyramids slightly, maybe them slightly, being away from home, not being the home team, pushing the envelope, conceding a goal, but still pushing the envelope as well. If Sundowns win, it will be because they kind of deserve it because they've always been in the semi-finals, quarterfinals. But this year, if you check all the other editions of Sundowns, this is the one that doesn't deserve to win, but they kind of deserve it as an institution because every year, semi-final, quarterfinal, unlucky, the best team in 2023 ever in African football, but not winning it. But one of the coaches is going to win it. If it's a Sundowns, it won't be because Miguel Cardoso is good. Lindo Pep, what did you make of the game, sir? I said a mouthful there. I hope I didn't disturb your train of thought.
Yeah, Mr. Nkeu Shapunjan.
Yes, sir.
Ngibulisi technical director, ngibulisi Autamucha, ngibulisi no Mr. Shane. Nkulego, I just have to be honest. This hasn't been a good season in the CAF Champions League for Mamelodi Sundowns. I think this Mamelodi Sundowns team, in my opinion, there are seasons where we've deserved to win the CAF Champions League. And I think, in my opinion, how we started, if you remember, under Coach Mangoba, we were drawing games. You look at the fact that even in the quarterfinals, semi-finals, we didn't play well. Was it deserved as an institution for us to go to the final? For sure. There's a saying in English.
Finally, you have to get there.
There's a saying in English, if you hang around the barber, you'll soon to get a haircut. So I was expecting Mamelodi Sundowns to go to the final, to be honest with you. But if you check if he's starting lineup, for me, when you come to Africa or South Africa, you need to be a ceiling raiser. For me, we've got better players at Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm not saying Useles is not a better player. I'm a person who loves stats, you know this. But for me, my stats don't show everything. And for me, I think it's important that we start introducing Ilifo. Let's go back again and watch football.
I don't think that we're going to go back there. I think the genie is out of the bottle. I think people don't like football. Yeah. I think most people are ignorant. 99.9% globally, people are very ignorant. And they have now something called a smartphone. Yeah. And they are addicted to highlights and gambling. I think that the genie is out of the bottle. We won't be able to get it back. I think people are who they are. They're going to teach their kids how to watch football from just watching the phone and then be distracted looking at 10 other things at the same time. And precisely because of that, that's why when Salas scores against a Magesi or a Chipa United, a hat-trick or something like that, it will be hailed as, Yabonu Guti is giving people humble pie. But if they care to watch, look at how he receives the ball. Look at how he spaces himself. Look at how he is on the ball and off the ball. If they understood what they were looking at, most people, they would understand that it's a decent player. It's a decent player because we have a shit league anyways. But if we had a strong league, he wouldn't get many good teams. But please continue.
He's got good qualities as a football player. You can see first touch corner, you can see the pass, you can see the vision. He scores goals, but to score against who?
Yeah.
For me, this is a thing. And Nzomuva Nagu repair also. he hides himself in big games. Yes, he scored a goal. Big players, they show themselves in big moments. Right, Nkulego? And I love that Uto Ribeiro. He was off today. But if you look at his run in the CAF Champions League, in my opinion, in big games where Mamelodi Sundowns needed him the most, for me, in my opinion, it did not show up. Yes, he is one of the best players at Mamelodi Sundowns, for sure. Ucheku Siles, Nkulego, the goals that he scores, the assists that he gets. For me, the media is hyping him up because they need him to go to the Club World Cup. But remember, you've got Uneo Maema, who was one of the best players 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
You've got Kutlwano Litaku, who is exceptional under 20. There's so many players in that Mamelodi Sundowns, for me, in my opinion, that deserve to play. And for me, this is living proof. They only need him for 2 things. Because if you check his starting lineup, say, Mamelodi Sundowns, they're playing with 2 natural central midfielders, with him as a number 10, no Renas. So there's 3 things they're looking at. How do they want to overload the midfield? They want to overload the midfield, Ngo Ribeiro coming in from the right. The second player they want to overload with is Opri from the left coming in. The third player is him. They need him more as a midfielder than more than a striker.
Yeah.
Because if you check on a heat map, we were looking at him heat map, I just showed you. He's more of a central midfielder than a second striker. Why is he important? Miguel Cardoso realizes that it's a mistake. Because Abu Sibi there, the defense is very high. If you check the pyramids, I think they played very well. I think Utore Paliti is an exceptional player. Check how he controls the midfield. Check on the right. They are saying Ibrahim Adel is one of the best players in England, but in Egypt, but Kulisomdao.
He's not good enough.
It's not good. I think credit to Kulisomdao, in my opinion. I think he dealt with him
I'm
solid.
looking at Kurisho and what he had to deal with. I'm like, he had just to deal with someone who goes left, obvious. Like, dynamic, attacking wide forwards will take you on. They will create a complicated scenario. You don't know whether it's going left or right. Kurisho Mudau, always keep your head up, stand up, don't go down, and he gets the ball. So yes, Kurisho Mudau, well done to cover him, but I was looking more at the attacker. What is the complication you are introducing? He didn't introduce any complication, and they kept on looking at him.
When talent meets talent, you need more than that. And for me, he needed more than just talent. I think Ukuliso dealt with him very well. I think he has the character can deal in a 1v1 situation. But Nkulego, you have to mention that the Pyramid started the game well. You look at the first 20 minutes of the game, Fiston Maela gets 2 opportunities. Or runs and pulls up a top save, even though it's offside. The one thing that I like that Fiston Maela caused us problems is he breaks the line, but he runs in between those channels, between the centre back and the full back. And he knows how to break the line. He's strong. And another way, he protects the ball. He doesn't lose the ball when they feed him the ball with his back towards goal. I like the fact that there was a period in the game, a quick feet. He does have that, and this is a striker that I like. I like the energy. I like the presence. You need a striker that has presence. They control the midfield in the first half. I think the change that comes in the first half, Kachaden in the 37 minutes, is because
what
of that.
What did you think about that? Like, did you think it was, especially even the one who came out, which is Matthews? Did you agree with that? Did you see why?
I did not agree with the sub Matthews. In my opinion, take out a player that is playing with his back towards goal, which is Usales. Because Matthews, before they subbed him off, in that moment, there was a period where he drived with the ball. As pusher, he drove us forward. And in that period, we were so under pressure. The reason why I keep Afagu and Adams is because he realized that he needed an extra body in midfield. Because he needed a traditional way of playing. This hybriding and inverting was not working. It's a final. It's a game of quality. It's a game of emotion. You don't need to complicate things. Because even as a coach here, you need leaders. In successful teams, successful clubs are led by players, not coaches.
Yeah.
And here, it's very important to identify that. For me, he realized that he made a mistake. Playing 8 doesn't work. I need another midfielder. But now you are sacrificing the exact player that we need because it was causing us problems. Because we were vulnerable on the left-hand side.
He was not there quick enough
to recover. Yeah. Yes, he quickly realized that he needed Uche and Adams. And the first half, we tried to get the scruff of the neck. Second half, we see the subs that he makes in the second half for me, which are crucial for Mamelodi Sundowns because we're trying to get momentum. We are trying to attack. Yes, we are not creating the opportunities. But why you keep it repair? Why are you going to a defensive line? I understand that you want control of the game. You just scored a goal, right, Nkulego? Which is a goal that you don't even deserve in the match. But don't go on an ultra-defensive lentus. You are inviting pressure.
Yeah, but he's been like that. Especially in the Champions League, he defends a lot.
Nkulego, if he won this game, he was going to be called a genius.
Yes, that's a problem with football.
For me, I don't look at results because now this is the stick they're going to beat him with. In the second leg, we are under pressure to play a completely different way. We were not playing like a home team, in my opinion. The opportunities that we created were not enough. We did not initiate a player. I understand about Ribeiro Baba off. I understand Nkulego. For me, you needed a player that could play in the pocket. You needed an Neo, you needed a Mshishu. You have those players on the bench. For me, I don't know why they keep playing Usales. I understand that he's the boy, according to them, he's been performing. But they need to understand that we are South African men. And you need to protect the interest of South Africans. You've got better players. What are some South African players saying? If you're going to
if
keep
you
on
need
playing
numbers
with
in the midfield, you can add Mkulisa, for example.
You know what I mean,
If the
no?
point is that you need numbers. But what's your feeling now at this point where we are in the game? It's 1-1.
Yeah.
It's an away goal for Pyramids. Who has the upper hand, in your opinion?
I think Mamelodi Sundowns has a chance to score an away goal. For me, I don't think the away goal means anything for Pyramids. Yes, it gives them confidence now, but Mamelodi Sundowns is a team that has the capacity to play in any stadium and go and score a goal. They went to Egypt against the Al Ahly and they came up with the results. For me, what is more important, Kolego, is when talent means talent, you need more. For me, it's the preparation. It's the character of the players. Who wants it more? Because Nkulego, you see the soul of a man through his eyes, in my opinion. And for me, some of these Pyramids players wanted it more. You look at the coach, he was very emotional. I think the Pyramids, if they want to win this final, they need to talk to the coach to be a little bit composed. Because you can't coach us to how to throw, how to pass short, how to run, where to run. He's pointing at each and everything.
Especially when you consider.
Especially when he lost himself. He was losing as a coach. And you can see the guy is a master tactician. You can see how his team plays. Because we check out the first half, the centre backs look comfortable on the ball. They can progress the ball. He wanted to dominate midfield. There are two things that were important in his game plan. It's the counter press. He did not allow Mamelodi Sundowns to play in midfield. He put so much pressure. Fiston Mayela, they said he went on a special training. And you could see in the first half, that how he moves, it's very studied, in my opinion, because he was stretching the defense of Mamelodi Sundowns. But also credit to Libusa, credit to Gekana, credit to Kuli Somdao. There's a period in the game where I always say that's why Sundowns will always be a successful club. In the 83 minute, when Kuli Somdao makes that tackle, you see Tabes go to him, you see Ronza go to him. That's an exceptional moment because the very same statement in Shoy, successful clubs are led by players, not coaches. For me, Miguel Cardoso is supposed to allow the players to play. This is a final. Your job is already done as a coach. We've coached the LFA. We've coached almost all the levels in this country. We know that you need the character and the intelligence and the knowledge you play. As a coach, you've done your job. Yes, you can help tactically there and there, but this is a game of quality. It's not a coach's game. It's a player's game in final. And for me, that's why I'm up Ronza Hamba no tennis on. There's some disappointments there. Utata ulentuzu Opri, utata umrena umdlalisa as a left back. You are making subs that for me don't make sense. You are playing at home. You are supposed to be going for the second goal. And by the time he was making those changes, these people are not coming to us. And that's the frustration I have because these teams play completely different. Away, they use completely different players. You check on their right-hand side. The Ageko Mohamed Mustafa, who's the dangerous left footer. They used double right back because they wanted to le outego left to cheater. He didn't have a defensive responsibility. That means they were a trust. Why are you not capitalizing on those things? Identify. For me, I understand even the previous coach used to overcoach. Don't overcoach in the final. Allow the players to be free. Allow the players to express themselves. It's a game of quality. I'm going to say it again. It's a game of quality.
All right. Otherwise, as we wrap up, congratulations to Amasanda, one of the fans themselves.
Yeah.
They came in numbers. Of course, the concern today was always that there's a Betway Premiership playing. Yeah. Is there going to be people there? You saw at least there were people there.
Yeah, no, congratulations to Amasanda.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the best thing we can do as Ama fans is to be there as a club, more especially the fans. I think the best way to support a club is always to go to the stadium. But unacceptable from these broadcasters, both of them. For me, to see Mamelodi Sundowns playing with SABC 3 is a little bit, it's not fair. It's not fair on this big institution. To be playing the biggest competition in the country, this institution is going to represent us, go FIFA Club World Cup. Give them the flowers. I know that everybody loves glory. I love glory. I think everybody loves glory. I think give the Mamelodi Sundowns the glory that they deserve. They're playing the CAF Champions League final. Do a build-up here 2 hours. Have our insights during the week that are telling us, show us those players that deserve. These players are heroes. Give us that. Give us the experience. You know what I mean? And I don't know what you build up Yago Supersport. I hope they did give what they did.
Oh yeah, they not necessarily they will never do what they do in the Soweto Derby, obviously. But yeah, they were at the stadium. I think it was Thomas Mlambo, Suresh Singh, Villa, Sbuso Villagazi, and I think Pumo Zamanense, if I'm not mistaken. They did kind of do justice, but I think the bigger one is the SABC one, because SABC one is the biggest channel in this country. Everyone, poor people, they can't afford DSTV, they watch SABC one.
Yep. And
you can't be playing Polokwane City and Chiefs there, number 8 and number 9, as opposed to playing Champions League. So I get your point.
Yeah, no, these broadcasters, Nkulego, to be honest with you, we need to... I know that maybe at the club they might say they don't care. They want quietness. Their club or fans that don't like. For Mamelodi Sundowns fans have this thing, Yoguti. We are not loud. The club, they always have this thing, Yoguti. We are not a club that is loud. We are okay. They can have the fans. We'll get the trophies. But I think it's important for us to drive that message. because there's young people that have fallen in love with supporting Mamelodi Sundowns. I grew up in Soweto, Nkululeko. I know that there's so much work that we need to do. In Soweto, there's a Chiefs and a Pirates fan in every street. The area in Town, I'm probably the only Sundowns fan. I understand the work that needs to be done, but I am saying media plays a huge role in all of us, in anything that you want to do. The media media is there for the voiceless. It gives people abangana voice a voice. And it's important for us to the biggest institution that has achieved 15 league, Nkululeko, has been dominating your league for more than 8 years. The international space, Upegabo Walter Steenbok, who was a scout there. You look at the players from under 17, Mangapegi growth path in Mamelodi Sundowns, Nkululeko. Check out Utebza, even if he's a 6. You look at the growth path, you check it, there's Utebza, there's Obas. Other than that, two Obas, those are 2 internationals. Then you've got Untando Nkosi, who was the former TDC player.
So, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
No, I think the people at home will understand your point. That, I mean, you can't. It doesn't make sense. Without the politics, it doesn't make sense that you play number 8 and number 9 on SABC 1 as opposed to the CAF Champions League final, which has a South African team. Whether it's Chiefs, whether it's Sundowns, whether it's SuperSport, whether it's Pirates, whoever was the South African team in the Champions League, we should prioritize them. The Betway Premiership or the PSL decided by themselves that they will continue playing at 3 p.m. They are a body that runs for itself. They're a semi-autonomous body who is a member, a special member of SAFA. So so they do whatever they want to do. They could have started all the matches at 5, but they decided not to do that. If changing the matches from today to tomorrow was too much, they could have even started at 1 p.m., but they decided not to do that. But anyhow, that's Mamelodi Sundowns and Pyramids. 1-1 maybe is a fair scoreline. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times, or Source Betting. For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiskiTV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Vilakazi, they call me so. Niazi bafethu, amakhosi for life, they are back in winning ways. Please, siyacela ukuthi subscribe iDiskiTV.